What's up, y'all? I was just having a conversation with my friend Jill Bates Moore, the brilliant, and it brought up a whole bunch of ideas that I think are helpful as we contextualize the work that we're in right now, collectively, and then specifically for white folks as they contextualize the work that is theirs to do in this moment. And so she was sharing with me. She's currently studying the Bhagavad Gita and was sharing with me the narrative of this story. I have not read it, but I will now. Or maybe I will, or maybe I won't. Let me not make up lies. But in the narrative of the Bhagavad Gita, for those of us who have not read it, the protagonist is being guided by, a source who is divine, who is sort of God sent in form as a guide. And the protagonist has to wage this enormous battle. But the protagonist realizes that the people that he is called to fight are his family. And, and he recognizes that there is no actual way to win the fight because the people who he will have to kill are his family. And it made me think about this current moment of time that we're in and the illusion of the other, right? So the idea that there is some other, right? Like we have to fight those other people, or we have to fight, we have to fight, those other people. And I want to clarify the nature of my work and the nature of the moment that I believe we are in right now, and some of the work that I think white people can do internally around a perspective shift that will make this work easier for all of us. I am not fighting white people. I am not in a battle against the unmelanated masses that are descendants of European ancestry. When I am in a battle against the systems and structures of white supremacist delusion and whiteness, and I'm in a battle for the ways in which they manifest internally inside the lives of unmelanated people of European descent. I don't have any, and what I would invite unmelanated people of European descent, those assigned whiteness at birth, and you can check my old videos if you want to know what that means, for those assigned whiteness at birth, is I invite them to be in a battle as well against the construct of whiteness and the construct of white supremacist delusion. The less that you identify on a soul level with whiteness, meaning, and that doesn't mean eschew it, that means look for it and remove it from yourself, right? It is not, oh, that's not me. It's, oh, I don't want that to be me. And so where is it so I can take, it's like having trash in your house you haven't taken out and you don't know where it's going. Something's rotting in your house and you don't know, you can smell it. You're right. And you're like, something is off in here. And you don't go, something's off in here. But if I act like I don't smell it, then it'll magically disappear. That may be somebody's strategy. I imagine it's not particularly successful. However, what one would do is say, something is rotting in here. Let me get to investigating so that I can remove that. Because it's stinking up my space. And that is what whiteness is. Whiteness is not you as a human being. There is no other. So my battle, the work that I do, is not about white people as the other. It is about whiteness, the construct that is rotting the material and spiritual and economic and political realities of Black and brown people around the world, while also at the same time rotting the internal spiritual and emotional and mental lives of those who were assigned whiteness at birth. You are struggling in this system as well. It is killing you too. It's killing you. It's killing all of us. And that is why, and so it's easier to be willing to look for a thing if you can stop experiencing it as some sort of inherent thing about you, right? i.e., whiteness is not about you. Whiteness is the structure into which you were born, right? If you want to mess with the folks who are like, I eschew labels, right? What that does is that says, like, you are not, like, you are white in so much as the construct of whiteness exists. And if you really desire to live in a world without labels, then what you would do is work your ass off every single day to completely dismantle all of the fixtures, all of the systems, all the structures, and all the designs that have made the label of whiteness real. That is because actually when you dismantle that system, that's the thing that has to leave before labels can leave. Because the label just identifies a thing. It's not about the label. The label is, there are pickles in the jar whether you write pickles on the jar or not. The problem with not writing pickles on the jar is I go over and I think it's, I don't know, nothing really looks like pickles. Let's say it's applesauce or it's sauerkraut. I don't know, right? Whatever. The purpose of labeling the container is so you know what's in the container. Not labeling the container doesn't make the container go away. Only making the container go away is what makes the container go away. And so stop experiencing the conversation of whiteness and white supremacist delusion as who you are and start experiencing it as something that you were assigned that is not serving you. That you wish to remove elements of it from your life on a regular basis. That way you can get out of your guilt and your shame. You don't have to be guilty and shamed because there are stinky tomatoes in the back of your fridge. You just have to find the stinky tomatoes and throw them out. And every time a new stinky tomato shows up in the back of your fridge, you have to find it. And then you have to figure out why you keep letting tomatoes rot in the back of your fridge. All of that is the work. And that work is how you reconcile yourself to humanity. That is how we stop a war where I have to kill my family. All right.